The only way he doesn't die here is if he slains. And if he slains, he has to slay and go face heal for 6. But I was attacking for 10, and then I would just heal the damage back up anyway. And then he would die the following turn, right? So I think it's like checkmate. What if he was also a Tungur gamer? Then we'd still be okay, right? Actually, maybe not. But nobody plays the Tungur. Like, nobody plays the Tungur, right? Definitely not Mr. Order Soul. Okay, well, we'll take those. Okay, chat, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break. And then we're going to look at all the cards that are gonna rotate out from Dawnbreak Nightedge. Have a nice but friendly discussion about them. So you can see here, we have all the cards. It's a big document. Every card's gonna rotate out. It's gonna impact the meta or not. So let me take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about it. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Shout out to all the Panda subs. I hope you guys are enjoying the Luis Jam emote. We'll be right back in 1 minute, chat. Alright, we're back, chat. So as you guys know, every time we get a new expansion, the oldest one of the rotation rotates out. We don't know what the new expansion will be, but we know that Dawnbreak is the one to rotate out once we get new cards at the end of the month. So I'm gonna go over all the classes, what they're gonna lose, what's gonna be for their meta deck, stuff like that, right? One thing to keep in note is that, you know, cards will leave the classes, but we don't know what new cards they will get yet. So sometimes some crucial cards will leave, and they might be replaced by other cards that make those classes function anyway, right? So as an example, just because Sword once lost Albert doesn't mean that Sword died after, right? Okay, so first of all, let's do the neutrals first. So the neutrals are Fount of Angels, Tart Man, Valkyrie something, right? Paradise Vanguard. I don't know the name of this card. Moon and Sun, Oceanus, Divine Retribution, Sutungar, Kirby's favorite, and Mr. Marduk. So a lot of these, you know, did not see a lot of play at all, but some of them did, you know. We currently play Fount and Machina Blood, and it's not a huge loss. Like, yeah, it's an okay card, but it's not a crucial part of the deck, so losing it means nothing, you know. Paradise saw some play, and it sees some play in the SBO today. People play it as like a tech card. But again, it's nothing crucial, right? Any deck that... Do you guys hear that? You guys can't hear that, right? Super loud. Like, any deck that played Paradise Vanguard, like, they'll be okay without it. Moon and Sun was kind of cute for a little bit. Eventually just not that good, right? Okay, you do hear the honk. I hope somebody gets their shit together. Oceanus was first mini expansion card, right? Just never saw any play. Sutungar is like hidden amulets. This is one of those cards where it's like, okay, if Sutungar is everybody's neutral hidden amulets and he leaves, could they print a card that might act the same as amulet hate? And maybe, right? Honestly, Shadowverse is not a game where playing counter cards like Sutungar works anyway, so he was never too good. And Marduk just sucks. Like, Marduk just actually sucks, right? That's all there is to it. He's just bad. Interesting to know that Dawnbreak, there was only one neutral in there, right? These days we have 2 neutrals, right? If I'm not crazy. What does Marduk do? That's a good ass question. He's a 7/7/7 and it's what does Marduk do? We have an animated one, by the way. Hold on, we can look this up. It's like when you play an amulet, you deal 2 damage. When you play a spell draw card, something like that. He's just garbage. Marduk says, oh god, yeah, we have one of them. If you leave the phone effect, followers can't be played. Well, that's bad. Whenever you play a spell draw card, that's okay. When you play amulet, deal 2 damage to the leader. But it's not a real leader effect, because when he dies, the effect goes with it. So it's just kind of bad. Open a Milner from these packs. That's godlike, dude. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So honestly, from the neutrals, nothing too big. The most impactful ones being Fount and Paradise, and Paradise just not needed, and Fount can be easily replaced. So nothing huge from neutrals that is a big deal. Okay, we got Forest. So for the classes, there's some classes where the rotation cards are huge, right? The cards that rotate. So Falconeer, as soon as he was released, he just saw playing all Forest decks, and to this day, he's like a corner store of Forest 2-drops. He's out of here. The Grasshopper, Intended to combo, you know, pull some stuff, but never too great. Some ambush support. Fashionista was a great card, but just not that great. Swift Pupper has some weird combos, but again, just not that great. Iggy got buffed, right? She used to be 7 play points. Axeman also got buffed because he used to be 7 play points as shown in the graphic. But all 3 forest legendaries kind of matter. Like, you know, you don't need Iggy in forest, but she was nice after the buff. Axeman was away for forced to close games out because of his damage, and you know, currently aggressive forest decks already struggle to close game out. And if you lose the Axeman, then they lose even more there, you know? So one has to wonder if they're going to get more Storm or finishers for aggro or mid-rangey forest. And Banera, it kind of matters for Korwa. Although these days in Korwa, you can play stuff like Odin. You don't even need the Banera, so maybe it's not even a big deal. The biggest one is probably Falconeer, because all forest decks play Falconeer no matter what they're doing, and he's just a great card in general. That said though, like, he's just a good 2-drop, so it's not like decks rely on Falconeer to function. He's just a good card in general. So losses like these are just part of rotation where it's like, you had good cards, and now you just play other good cards, and it's not a huge deal, honestly. There's even less 2-drops, but there's other good 2-drops, like Daisy Boy is great, you have Sella, you have other options. They will reprint Dark Feast, but instead of how many times you deal damage to yourself, it's how much. Wait, that would just make him better, right? Like, Forest needs help support or the Archetype is dead. Yeah, they need something, right? And again, like right now, we don't know what new cards we're gonna get. But remember that every time cards leave, cards come in, right? So have hope for these classes. For every class. We got Shadow. Okay, so this is a big one. Let me just, you know, we'll just jump right to it. We're losing Arcus, and that's huge. Because unlike a card like Falconeer, which is great competitively, but it's just a 2-drop, Arcus defines the deck, right? And Arcus was the Shadow deck for the longest time, and that's gone. Again, that's not to say that Shadow will be unplayable or anything like that. Obviously, there's other things Shadow can do, but the Arcus deck as a whole is, you know, is gone. And honestly, that's a good thing, because it's one of those things where Arcus was so good for so long that eventually you sort of get tired of it, and now Shadow will be forced to do something else. And I think that's the strength of the rotation, is that, you know, you eventually force change, and I think that's a good thing. So rest in peace, Arcus. Will not miss him. There's sort of, you know, important cards like Big Soul Hunter, which is currently played a lot. Nothing else that's too spicy. The reanimate memes died before it could be a thing. Hinterland was funny for a day, and then, you know, it's just not that great. Spirit, part of the Arcus deck, so, you know, it's gone with it. So much 2-drops, easily replaceable. Biggest one is, you know, Arcus. Soul Hunter, you know, also matters, but it's not a huge deal either. Currently, Shadows and run Arcus, they don't lose a single thing. Well, if you're talking about Mecha Shadow, yeah, sure. But Arcus Shadow is still a very playable deck. It's a super playable deck. Kinda said that Deathskull wasn't ever played much. It's a good card. Shadow is better 2-drops, yeah. Like, Shadow's okay in 2-drops. As long as Lady Grey and Dreamer exist, they're gonna be okay on 2-drops. But losing Arcus is nice. The 5 play point 4 for Bane guy is crazy. You mean this dude? Whoa. Alright. What do we got next? We have Sword. Now, Sword loses some pretty important cards as well. Chromatic Duel is a big one, right? Commonly played in most Sword decks. Just a great card in general. The Bear was great for a long time, but eventually got cut from all the list. But it's one of those cards where it's like, if I told you the Bear is playable today, you might be like, oh, didn't he rotate already? No, he's still in there. But he's gonna be gone. Celia is the biggest one, right? Celia, ever since she was released, was a cornerstone of Sword decks for how flexible she is. You know, great as a 2-drop, great defensively, and amazing to close out the game. So that's the biggest loss for Sword, and maybe the biggest loss we've seen so far. Some other Sword cards, you know, like Baal's pretty good. Rampage was really not that bad, honestly. And again, Fortress kind of like the Bear. Well, it was great. Eventually, just people don't play it anymore. Spartacus in rotation never saw a lot of day. And we're okay with it, because it's a good unlimited card, I guess, right? The Bear got power cut by the Pirates, yeah. The Omen just kind of kicked him out, right? Bear was good because of Arthur, that's a good point. So, Celia leaves Sword. And I promise you Sword's gonna be okay, chat. They're gonna be just fine, but it is a big deal. That's a really, really strong card. Honestly, Chromatic and Balls also, like, yeah, this could be replaced, but they're gonna be fine. The thing about Sword is that, like, yeah, we lose some good Sword cards, but think of the Sword cards that still exist, right? Dragon Knight, Leisha, Leod, Ivory Dance, Octress, Latham, We just sit here and name Buster sword cards, you know, it never ends, so sword's gonna be okay. Chromatic and Boss shored up a lot of utility. Yeah, like they're good cards for sure, right? So like, isn't even Archetype of Pioneers just insane? That's true. Like no, like it wasn't like you were playing the Celia deck, but no matter what sword deck you played, you always played Celia because she was so strong, right? I hope they're not fine. Sword has been almost oppressively good at least once in every meta since this card was printed, yeah. Usually Sword is pretty good at the start of the expansion, so don't be surprised if that also happens once again, right? Like, you can't expect Sword to get bad cards. Currently they have good cards, and I bet you they're gonna get other good cards as well, you know? Now, another huge class for rotation is Blood. Again, the biggest one is Dark Fist Bat, much like the Arcus. Dark Fist Bat defined an entire deck, right? Now, the other Pain Blood cards are still pretty strong, and I do wonder if they could exist in a deck without Dark Fist Bat. In Unlimited they can. Obviously Unlimited is a different beast, and they very well might just never see play again in rotation, but you know, Dark Fist Bat leaving is huge, right? Along with it we see like the gift part of the deck, Old Blood King, which is sort of like its own deck. Not as prevalent as Dark Fist Bat, but still gone, and I don't mind it. Bueller leaves, and that's Momo's favorite card, so... The Bania, maybe Bania will get reprinted. Wouldn't be the first time, right? Fan favorite, I could see her coming back. Walt saw play very briefly, and Banyas is not a thing. Wasn't a thing with him. Maybe it'll be a thing without him, right? Someone Blocking is interesting because I want to say it's one of those first cards that got reprinted, like card for card reprint, and it now rotates out. So, do you guys think that they might once again be like, oh, here's Someone Blocking again? Or is it gone for good this time? Yeah, Blood loses a lot of stuff. Like some cards that are Dark Fist Bat deck defining, but you know, like the Blood matters, Summon matters as well, right? What could they reprint instead this time? You know, they don't have to reprint something technically. So I don't know. I wonder what they're gonna give Blood in the future. Machina Blood's already pretty good. Make Flowers Craft in rotation. Okay, they shouldn't reprint Flower by Kirby. That's a no. But I do wonder, like when you look at cards like Balnaric and Floros and Evil Eye, like these cards are so good. And I do wonder if they could still exist without Dark Fist Bat. Blood Kinshers being the base set. You know, if they want to make changes to the basic set, I wouldn't be opposed to that. They would need a new finisher. Yeah, I don't know what that could look like. But again, we don't know what they're going to get in the future, right? Can we have Bat Arcus that turns played cards into bats and let them go face? You mean Old Blood King? It's dumb they don't support Vengeance. Maybe they will support Vengeance again. Who knows, dude? Does cards start fizzling out really hard starting like turn 7? What if you play like a tempo deck? I mean, Lucent Gift means that Flowers gets a lot worse though, right? They'd have to print like another 0-cost card that could help you summon Flowers, something like that. I don't know. Who knows? Don't know what the future holds, but it doesn't hold Dark Fist Bat, and I'm okay with that. Okay, the next class we have is Rune. And Rune is one of those classes that's a big winner because they don't really lose a lot of anything. If you look at the current Rune deck list, there's not a single card here that they play, honestly. Like, nothing at all. Like, take a Riot deck list or a Burn Rune. Doesn't contain any of these cards. Now, some of these cards are pretty good, you know. My boy Beast Phase Mage is a 2-drop. And the Dragon was a Mysterio card for a long time, right? God knows I lost to the Onions too many times. But yeah, Rune Master doesn't lose anything. Maybe the biggest one is Whirlwind, but they don't even play Whirlwind. It is another AoE for Rune that's rotating out. So maybe Cygames is making a conscious decision of like, hey, Rune is really good class. Their downside is going to be not having great AoE. And maybe they won't print that, or maybe they'll be like, hey, Rune needs AoE, and then here's the new one, right? So who knows, but Rune will be okay. They're losing basically nothing. None of these really matter. Faust never saw a light of day, even if his cat was super cool. You didn't even know Faust existed? That's funny. I really wasted battles on Faust and I battle him again. That's funny. None of these really matter though. It is some Earth cards though, so maybe they'll bring more Earth support, right? Moving on. We got Lions. I mean Haven. We got Haven, not Lions. And again, like Blood and Arcus, it's a whole deck rotating out. The whole line package out. Some Alliance card like Salvation that came after will still be around. But Salvation without the Crystal, the Temple, and the Peace Weaver, they're just not going to survive, right? So that's a huge ass deal. And it's one of those things where, once again, the longest time Lions was all Haven did. Now they don't have Lions, they'll be forced to do something else, and I consider that a big win. So I look forward to seeing Lionless Haven show up. Now it's not the only cards that, you know, are important. White Fang was so strong for the longest time, combo with Tenko, which did eventually get nerfed. But no more White Fang, no more Tenko. The Deer saw longest play. These days not so much. Another big one is Morie. It's one of those cards that just every Haven deck always played, no matter what you were doing. He was just so good. So Morie is gone. Alexiel saw a little bit of play here and there, countering specific decks, but it's not a huge loss. It'll be okay. Tudun as actual garbage. Geo Priestess, another just pretty solid 2-drop, also gone. So Haven loses a lot of shit. And I think that's a good thing because Lions these days I'm just not a fan of, so I'd like to see Haven do something else, and I'd like to see not Lions come back. Unless they're Mecha Lions in a different deck. I hope they add more amulets for legendary they introduced. Yeah. Like Haven was the amulet class. Maybe they go back to that and just give them more amulets. I would be okay with that. Geo Priestess and Morie, yeah, those are big ones. That hurts all Haven decks basically. More Barong amulets? Give me more Barongs, dude. If that's what you want to do, I'm down. A Lion redesign of some sort could be cool. It's trying to see what they could do without Temple. I don't know. What I don't want it to do is be like, oh, here's a 2-play with 2/2 that says Fanfare and a Temple to your hand. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Beast Collar. Yeah, Beast Collar was so busted, dude. Oh yeah, Golden City. I mean, I don't know, man. I'd like to see him get more amulets. Specifically more animal amulets, because usually the amulets summon animals, right? So I'm down for that. Okay, next we got my favorite class, Dragon. And the biggest one is obviously Phylene, right? Phylene started the trend of mini-expand Dragon Laners are busted, right? She was the original. And she's, as soon as she got, you know, released, instantly played in Dragon decks till the end of time. I mean, she could stick around as a leader, but you won't have to see her as a card, and that's kind of nice. Phylene's pretty good, but you know, it's just a 2-drop. It's not deck defining by any means, so it's one of those cards where like, yeah, it's a big loss, and at the same time, it's like whatever. Like Dragon will be fine. Roy is ramp, but these days Dragon can ramp otherwise. You know, they have Anros, Core, and stuff. Roy's not really needed. 4-stop play, a good amount. It's fine without it. You could use Mr. T if you want 80 or something, right? My boy Galua will be missed. He did have a nice body. Oh, yeah! But no more Galua. It's fine. Wasn't really see a lot of play. Gerbil Lindworm, kind of like 2 mean legendaries. So honestly, Dragon is fine. Like, yeah, Phylene sort of hurts. And Roy and Force give you less options. But remember, we'll get some new stuff. And these are fine. I guess I do miss the Orcas just because I like Orcas. And I always wanted them to do more Orca support. Which I guess they can if all the Orcas rotate, right? But Dragon will be okay, chat. Dragon right now is one of the weaker classes though, so I am curious to see what they'll get in the new expansion. I wish Phylene could rotate out of Unlimited. Yeah, she'd still be good in the Tempo Unlimited deck, right? We never got Orca support. If we're gonna get a water expansion, give me Neptune back and some sort of other Orcas, right? Maybe we'll get another AoE spell for Dragon. It could happen, right? I would be so down for a Neptune legendary. I would be so down, Kirby. I'd actually be so down. He looks nice and animated. Pulled one and I look at it. He does look good animated, yeah. Summon 2 Mega Orcas and Evo Mega Orcas. What would she be? Like a 6-play point something? I don't know, dude. A Water Panda expansion. That's very specific, sir. That is so specific. Like, will we ever get a Panda expansion or a Water expansion? The likelihood of a Water Panda expansion is just not very high. A 7-play point 5/6? Wait, I see what you did there. There's a dude with white hair and a beard right on her back. Pandas and scuba gear? I mean, tell me that wouldn't sell. That would definitely sell some packs. And last but not least, we got Portal. Now, Portal finally had its first rotation before. And yeah, they lost some good shit, but you know, Portal's still okay as a class. You know, Lyshanna's a pretty good deck right now, and things like Artifacts or Machina are not that far from being playable. Now, what do we lose? We lose the cannon, which will go on record as one of the only cannons that ended up not being good, because Crystal Cannon's ass. Junk's a big deal for Lyshanna, right? Pretty good card. Heartless Battle's a big one. If you guys remember, originally Heartless Battle was thought to be not that good, but it rapidly proved itself to be a pretty good card, and it will be missed, certainly. My boy Rhino is perhaps the biggest loss of them all, just because he never really got to shine properly, even though he was such a cool card. Rest in peace, Rhino. Orc is a big one too, although these days nobody plays her at all, but she did have a lot of play back when puppets were like a real ass deck, right? The best deck. I don't know if there was going to be a puppet deck to make a comeback, then they would like to play Orcus, so I guess that does matter, right? For the artifacts, what is the name of this card, chat? Saphira, right? No, what is her name? Not Saphira, what is her name, chat? Miriam. Miriam, it's a pretty good artifact card in general, so that hurts them, right, I guess? So Machina decks run her as tag against Burn Rune. I don't know, Portal will be fine. Like, none of these are too relevant. Biggest ones being Junk and Miriam, honestly. Just like low cost utility cards that are just great. Like Orcus, whatever. On, what's the name of this card, chat? I should know this. What is the name of this? What is the name of it, chat? What is the name of this card? Lenny, what's up, dude? That which erases. That which erases. I got it, chat. That which erases. And I know because we have one animated. That which erases. Why do I have this card animated, dude? So, yeah, cool card, but he's ass. I thought I was showing it on stream. There it is. So, cool card, but yeah, he just sucks. Rhino 4 side games to add hard turn limit. In the end, he did more than 90% of cards. That which is Biles. That which is rotating, I guess. When the next expansion to be aquatic or dinosaurs, I'd be down. The Yakusha opening, we were listening to it. The art is sick. It does look cool, right? Okay, so ultimately, chat, Dawnbreak, one of the bigger expansions rotating, honestly. There's a lot of powerful cards in here. You know, Falconeer, Axeman, Celia is huge. Firelane is massive. The whole Lion package, Darkfee's bad, Arcus. Like, it's one of those sets where, like, with Dawnbreak rotating, it's not just a couple good cards, but, like, whole archetypes are leaving, right? There won't be any Lions, Darkfee's bad, or Arcus. And then Orc classes lose some really important cards. Again, I will remind you guys that just because you can't look at the game like, oh, if Sword today didn't have Celia, how would they be? Because when the set rotates, it won't be a Sword of today, it'll be a Sword of tomorrow. And the Sword of tomorrow has a whole new set and a whole new set of cards, right? So who knows what's going to happen. But I like the rotation format, and it's great seeing some of these cards leave. I won't miss losing to Arcus, Nicholas Spam, or getting Darkfee's Band in the face for 20, or Temple on 2 into Temple on 3. Like, I won't miss that, right? So we can look forward to a new expansion, whatever it may be. Again, we're getting an expansion at the end of the month. When it comes out, Dawnbreak will rotate out. Mecha Celia? Yeah, maybe there'll be a Mecha Celia. If Sword today didn't have Celia, but an entire expansion worth of new cards, how would they be? They'd probably be pretty good. There's a Final Fantasy card game, yeah. It was like when side games was like give early legendary effect, give your little fun effect. Yeah, they eventually became a fan of leader effects, right? Nothing wrong with that. I don't know, whatever we're gonna get a new expansion, I'm just excited, chat. I'm just really excited.